I am Supreme and welcome to Chosen Oracle Messages. This is message number 42 for the chosen. You will know if you are chosen because my messages will resonate with your soul. We are chosen because we are here to prove to the world that God, Spirit, the universe is real. Okay, it is our responsibility to come back and save ourselves, no one else. We're saving ourselves and living by example. That alone will help others and assist others on their path. Okay, we are our own energy, frequency, and vibration. This channel is all about how to clean up your energy, frequency, and vibration. Each card in this deck is full of chapters that the chosen will go through, chapters that we need to understand and chapters that we're not understanding. Depending on whether this chapter comes upright or in reverse, will let me know and let you know how this message resonates with your soul and your journey. Being that this is message number 42, if this message resonates, the spirit told me to tell you to play that number because I see somebody winning the numbers. If any of my messages resonate with you, play that number. Number 42 could be your age. You could be 42 years old. You could be going on 42 years old this year. This message will also resonate with people whose address has 42 in it. This could be a license plate number. You could be seeing 42 right now at the gas station. This could be on your time, 42 or 24, 42 or 24. Age, address, license number. This could be the time that you're looking at right now. You can see 42 or 22 somewhere on the bulletin right now. This could be your battery energy, 42 or 24. So you could be seeing 42 or 24 anywhere. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 6 cards. I'm going to pull 6 cards and it's going to open up a message. Cut the deck. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Have a lot of reversals. And we only have one upright card. This upright card, I'm going to leave this for last, the slingshot. But let's talk about these cards that came out in reverse. So got the clouds, the garbage can, the heat in the room, the crow, and the witch. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm talking to somebody. You can't really see yourself clearly. You can't see who you are and what you're made of. You are chosen. Okay, and this message, you were sent here for message number 42 because what you're going through is some chapters in your life that's allowing the wicked witch. Now, a witch is somebody that understands how energy, frequency, and vibrations work, and they understand the elements. All of us are supposed to understand how energy, frequency, and vibration works. But I'm talking to somebody. This message for you is because you don't understand that there are people who understand how energy, frequency, and vibration work, how all the elements work. There are people who know how you work better than you know how you work. So you do have an enemy. These people are power hungry. These people hate themselves. I always say bad witches are always ugly. You know, there's always a scar somewhere in their life, whether it's mental scars, physical scars, spiritual scars, emotional scars, or all types of scars from all different dimensions. Either way, this particular scar controls them. So they hate themselves. They have not healed from their trauma. Okay? Now, we all go through trauma. We're all supposed to be healing from our trauma. And I feel like I'm talking to somebody that you are in the process of healing. You're on the road to healing, but you have a whole lot of people that are surrounding you and a whole lot of situations and circumstances because it's very cloudy in your life. Okay, now the clouds are water. So when the clouds come, it's about to rain. So it's very cloudy in your life right now. Okay. Also, there are specific energies, frequencies, and vibrations that you need to discard. You discard these by staying away from those people, places, and things. Because see, the garbage can came out. And you don't understand that there are things you have to discard. There are also energies you have to alchemize. You have to recycle. Okay? Just like, for example, anger. Okay? Anger can go both ways. Anger can control you, but also anger can fuel you. That's what I call divine anger. Okay? For example, I'm an angry individual. Not because I'm mad at myself. Okay? My anger doesn't control me. Okay? I alchemize my anger. I'm naturally angry. I wake up angry. Why? Because of the type of world that I wake up in. Okay? So I understand, and my eyes are open, my spiritual eye is open, so I see everything. I see everybody for who they are. I see everything for what it is. And that can make you angry. Because also, when you see such a beautiful existence, beautiful people, men and women, kings and queens who are just playing with themselves, letting life pass them by. You know, the killing of each other, the fighting of each other, the racism in the world, all of these type of things. This is why I'm angry. But my anger doesn't control me, because if it did, I'd be out here doing the same thing. I alchemize that anger. When you alchemize your anger, you recycle it and it becomes a purpose. You either are a part of the solution or you are a part of the problem. When your anger controls you, you are still a part of the problem out here in the community. In the world, you are the problem in your family. You are the problem at your job. You are the problem in your relationships. When you alchemize your anger, and I'm just using anger as an example of how to alchemize your anger and recycle it. Okay? When you alchemize it and you recycle it, okay, now your anger becomes fuel. It becomes the fuel that you use to become a part of the solution. And nobody's ever going to lead you astray from the solution. Why? Because you're not going to let them. You know why? Because you're just as angry as they are. See, you didn't discard your anger. You recycled it. You're just as angry as the people who allow their anger to control them. So they're not going to win. Because when they clap, you clap back. And you clap harder because you're a part of the solution. But the way you clap harder, for an example, what I'm doing right here, teaching, preaching, doing oracle, reading oracle cards. This is all a part of my anger. You see what I'm saying? I turned it into fuel. I become a healer. I heal people. Okay? Nobody can ever stop me from doing that because I'm already angry. So my anger is fueling me to be a healer, because this is also healing to me as well. This message is for me as well. This whole deck that I created represents all the chapters that I went through in my spiritual awakening. This is my deck. I created this from scratch. All of these cards are made in my image, the lessons that I learned on my spiritual journey. So, it doesn't matter when angry people come at me with stuff that they don't understand. And I get it. They're angry. They haven't alchemized their anger. They're still allowing their anger to control them. Me, I'm just as angry. I turned my anger into a purpose. Okay? When I'm not reading cards, I have 3 channels. Not just Chosen Oracle Messages. Make sure y'all go visit my other channel, Astro Oracle Investigations, where you will see how I find missing men, women, and children. Yes, you will see how I crack cold cases and solve murders with other decks that I've created specifically for that task. Then I have another channel, Circles of Life, which is still a growing channel. All of my channels are growing channels. My most developed channel right now is Astro Oracle Investigations. This channel is growing. Circles of Life is also growing. Okay? And I will link those channels in the description below. Okay? And I have specific decks for each channel that I use. Okay? To be able to be of service to humanity. Because remember, we're a part of the solution. Okay? So, and then when I'm not on here reading, I'm off doing other things. I make clothes. I sew. I make all my clothes from scratch. All of my robes I make from scratch. I sew. I have so many hobbies that I do. So many hobbies that I do. Why? Because I alchemized my anger. It's no use being angry at life because you got a life sentence. You got to be here all of your life. So you might as well become a part of the solution and allow your anger to fuel you to be a healer. Now that takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It is not going to happen overnight. You're not just going to wake up tomorrow morning, go get a garbage bag, go outside and say, okay, I'm going to clean up the whole environment. That's a good thing to do. And that's a good place to start. You know, I feel like I'm talking to somebody. The spirit is telling me you need to start a youth group. Start a youth group. Start a youth group. Start a youth group. Challenge the youth. Go get a big box of trash bags and get the youth in your community. Pay them $20. Find 5 youths. And the spirit told me you will know who those 5 people are. Okay? Take $100. Okay? Find 5, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. $100. Find 5 youths. And you're going to know who these 5 youths are. And say, come on, we're going to clean up this environment. And make this a once a week thing or however many times you want to do it. Start there. Start small. You'll be surprised. And a lot of times you'll attract the angriest people in the environment. The angriest children. You'd be surprised. Sneaking up on their anger like that. Inspiring them to transform their anger. They say, you know what? This is something that I can do. Yep, I like that idea because I'm already angry. Okay, and I don't give a fuck what people think. I wish a motherfucker would say something to me while I'm cleaning up this trash can because they know not to fuck with me. This is the type of youth that you're going to attract. They're already angry. They're already angry. It's all about alchemizing that anger, giving people something constructive to do with their anger. That's also a part of the solution. I'm also talking to somebody teaching people how to sew. Open up your sewing class. I'm even talking to myself. I don't have a sewing class right now. But hey, I'm even talking to me. That's a good idea. Now, The Crow came out. Okay? The Crow came out. Crows hover around the dead. Okay? And you don't understand that. I feel like you have a lot of things that you're trying to ward off. Certain friends, okay, in your circle. Certain people, places, and things seem to always pop up in your life. You seem to resonate with these people, places, and things. And it's like, you know, if I could just get away from these people, places, and things without hurting nobody. You know, I feel like I'm talking to somebody, you feel like there's no way out. That's because the only way out of your situation is in. You got to go within yourself. Because, see, these people, places and things keep popping up because you're manifesting them. They're attached to something in you that you have not transformed. Once you transform what they are attached to, the outer world, where these people, places, and things reside in your circle, will naturally transform. Your friendship circle will naturally change once you change. You won't have to hurt these people. They'll walk away. They'll stop calling you. They'll stop reaching out to you. And you may feel like, well, damn, motherfuckers is trying to be funny. No, they're not. No, they're not. Rejection is protection. You're changing. So now your outer world is changing. But things take time, just like the heat in the room. When you turn the heat on in a house that's been cold all season, you're not gonna feel the heat right away throughout the whole house. You're gonna feel it. The heat has to generate. If you turn the heat on 9 o'clock in the morning and you walk inside of your door at 9:01, you're not gonna feel the heat. If somebody tell you, yeah, the heat is on, you'll walk in your door and say, damn, it's cold in here. And the people in your house say, well, I just turned the heat on. They say, well, I don't feel it. That's because I just turned it on. Look how big this house is. It's going to take time for the heat to generate. So I feel like I'm talking to somebody. You just turned your life around. Probably literally as of this message. So you're not going to see instant results. It's going to take time for things to change. It's going to take time for that heat to generate throughout your whole life. It's going to take time for that new heat to generate among those people, places, and things that have been manifesting in your life for a long time. Sometimes, not all the time, and also depending on what these things are, sometimes it takes just as long to get those people out your life as you've had them in your life. So you know what that says about family. Because there's even family that we want out of our lives. You know, family are human beings just like everybody else. Family can hurt you too. In fact, family can hurt you more. Nobody can hurt you more than your family. Nobody can hurt you more than your family. Because nobody has your energy more than your own family. Especially your own mother and your own father or whoever raised you. They have your energy at the core. Your mother knows who you were before you became aware of who you were. Your mother knows your motives. What makes you cry? What makes you happy? What calms you down? What you get mad at? Your father too. Whoever raised you from the core of your being, that person has your energy. They have bits and pieces of your energy that you have forgotten. So, and I'm not saying that these people are bad. But if there is any bad energy in your life, such as a witch or a warlock, especially a bad witch, there's no witch worse than a negative toxic mother or a negative toxic father. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes you have to deal with these people all your life, but you don't have to be in their face. So let's talk about the slingshot. This slingshot right here is the reason why you feel overwhelmed by all these lessons I just went over. Let's talk about the slingshot. Let's go back to when we were Christians growing up. We all grew up in church. If you didn't, it's okay. Maybe you grew up in another religion or whatever, but we're spiritual today. We understand the truth today. Okay, so let's talk about a specific story that this slingshot chapter in my life came from. Do you remember the story of David and Goliath? David and Goliath, the giant. Okay, in a nutshell, there was an army that was trying to take down the giant. Okay, let's say you have an army. Okay, David had a slingshot. You ever hear that saying, never show up to a gunfight with a knife? That's David. He showed up to a gunfight with a slingshot. Could you imagine how that giant looked at David? You showed up to a gunfight with a slingshot. You're going to be the first one down. But guess what? No, he wasn't. You know why? Because the power of God gave David power in his slingshot, empowered his little slingshot. So when David put that rock inside of that slingshot and slinged that thing back and let it go, it destroyed Goliath, the army. That's who you are. That little feeling that you have, that little inch. Remember they used to say have a faith the size of a mustard seed. That little faith that you got to turn your life around. That little thing that you start doing, such as cleaning up. Start by cleaning up your own house or your own yard or whatever the case may be. You know, the idea with the youth, getting them trash bags, going out to your community and paying them to, you know, little things. Start little. People gonna laugh. People gonna laugh. And sometimes you have people that should not laugh that will laugh. A lot of these bad witches too. You know, people that's out here, they got billions of dollars making changes in the world. And here you go with your little garbage bags, picking up little trash in your community. They gonna look at you like, where you going? You know? And it's sad because those should be the last people to laugh. You would think they understand. But you have a lot of bad witches out here that got a lot of money, but they're scarred. See, you can't pay for healing. You cannot pay for healing. It's priceless. You have people at the top, billionaires, just as scarred as they want to be. They have no friends. They're hateful. They have no friends, no family. And it's not because people were hating them. It's because their scar controlled them. They're bitter, angry. Their success is built on grudges, bitter, angry. They say, watch, I'm going to make it one day. I'm going to make it to the top. And when I make it to the top, fuck all you motherfuckers. That's bitter, angry. You mean to tell me you worked that hard to rise to the top just to stick your middle finger up at the world and say, fuck you? That's a scar. Only scarred people do that. And there is a whole kingdom of scarred people. Just like the movie with the Lion King. You know, you had Mufasa and then you had Scar. I bet you didn't know that's what Scar meant. That whole wilderness in darkness, they have a king too. His name was Scar. And guess what? Scar was Mufasa's brother. The enemy is still your brother. He's unhealed. Unhealed. Everybody is scarred in some form or fashion from life. Whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, whatever. Trauma is a scar that we all went through in some form or fashion. The difference between Mufasa's kingdom of light and Scar's kingdom of darkness was that Mufasa's kingdom rules pride. These are the generation of lions that are healing. Their scars and trauma does not control them. They gain the victory over their scars and traumas. They don't use that as an excuse to not feel good about yourself enough to do the right thing. Because that's where it starts. You have to feel good enough about yourself first to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching and nobody's applauding. It's difficult to feel good about yourself when you have a lot of scars that you don't understand how to heal. And your scars begin to control you. And you become a part of that generation of people that say, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck life. I don't care. I ain't got no feelings. Fuck feelings. You know, that's Scar's generation. That is the Scar generation. They don't care about shit. It's not because they're bad people. It's because they are not healed. They don't take enough time out with themselves to heal. They hold grudges. They don't let shit go. Sometimes you got to let shit go and heal yourself. You know, so what? They knocked you down. Sometimes instead of going back to knock them down, you have to get up, brush yourself off, heal yourself. So that way nobody will get away with knocking you down again. Sometimes you got to tell yourself that will never happen again. That shit that y'all pulled will never happen again. Not because you're going to go pull it back on them, but because you're going to heal in such a way where you're going to make sure that that shit never happens again. You're not going to let nobody get away with that shit again. That comes from you healing and feeling good about yourself. So this slingshot, everything that I just explained to you on how to feel good about yourself, you need to put that in that slingshot and you need to sling it back and let it go. And watch how it tears down all of everything that's overwhelming you. Everything that's overwhelming you. And it will all make sense, including this message. Message number 42.